All right. 1, 2, mic check. All
We
right.
are going back. Here we are live again from South Beloit, Illinois, the DJ shop, DJ Smith shop of Outside the Fence. About 25 episodes into this, I believe, or so. And doing the special quarantine edition. Obviously, with the world in the shutdown mode we are, it became a good time. Yeah, I hate to say it that way, but it's getting worse by the day. As we said here before, this is affecting not only the racetracks, obviously, but everybody. And schools are now shut down for the rest of the year.
School's done.
Yeah.
Sorry, kids.
They're all smiling. I'm sure parents are crying.
You're right.
They want to get these kids out of here. So, and you get a chance to have family outing at the racetrack. That'll be the fun thing for the family. But
we all can't wait for that.
So a special edition tonight with DJ Smith. We were talking about this earlier. Kyle from Misfit Productions, who puts this event on. He's hosted this event at his house, his garage, now at his race shop. He's been on the show, but he's never been the man in the hot seat.
No.
How does it feel tonight?
I'd rather be behind the scenes.
A lot of time, DJ's out back has the mic behind the camera, so you don't see him, but here he is. If you always want to know,
break the camera is what I'm afraid of.
You'll break the camera?
Pretty ugly.
Well, no. I don't know about that. No, the audience is like,
see, I told you.
wow, it's getting rough in here already. Oh, great.
Don't give her a mic.
Well, that could be a whole nother subject, or a whole nother show, actually, but let's, was it last week we were on? No, I took a week off. Prior to that, we tried to do it 2 weeks ago, I guess, and we had a bunch of technical issues, and part of that program, I looked at my notes from that event, and we wanted to honor Les Wagner, who had passed away, and we tried that in the last show, and that didn't make it out, and prior to that, Nick Schneider was here, who was going to drive Les's car in the American Short Tracker Division this year at Rockford. And fortunately, the plan is still on. He is going to compete in that car. Great thing, they came last week. We had a tire sale last Saturday at the Speedway. And
how'd that go? Pretty good?
Actually, I was surprised. We had sold more tires than I thought we would. Nice. So that was really, really encouraging. That I got to admit, I was cautious walking into it, thinking, well, maybe 3 people show up that wanted tires to scale the car.
People are still optimistic that we're gonna.
Yeah. So that was the best part of that whole deal. And we're gonna do it again tomorrow from 12 to 2. You can if you want to drop off registrations, if you need tires. I mean, we're kind of in a standstill, so let's get some stuff done. And moving on, let's go right to the schedule stuff. I think that's a lot of people want to hear what we're doing with that. Thursday, 2 days ago, I had talked to Todd Thielen at Slinger Speedway because the Big 8 Series was scheduled to be there next Sunday, the 26th of April. And he was all guns and ready to go. So Thursday, I started calling guys, okay, get your radios charged. We need our equipment. We're going racing, guys. And it's like, oh, no, because, it's been a long winter. And you start thinking of everything you need and how we're going to do everything. And then the next day, the governor of Wisconsin says, well, we'll decide to shut the state down till May 26th, the Tuesday after Memorial Day, which is absolutely crazy. But if you think in the big picture, you look at it now, the governors of Illinois, Wisconsin, Minnesota, they've all got this little pact deal going on. And I know this is all political, and I know Pritzker and all these other guys, okay, Wisconsin, you go first. You go out and say May 26th. You take all the heat, but don't worry.
Illinois went first last time.
We'll take care of you, though. We'll take care of some political benefits. So I can't tell you tonight any really good dates of anything because we're really waiting on the governor of Illinois, and he had said that he will announce this, either continuation of the shutdown or a date, an end date. And so it's like, this is crazy. He won't say it, so I can't plan on anything because it all depends on what happens in Illinois. So part of that other deal is now we've going to reschedule the Big 8 series from Slinger, possibly to June, possibly to July, the Sunday before the Nationals up there. So that was my ideal weekend, because the Big 8 series would be at Rockford on Saturday night, July 4th.
Oh,
Then the next night for the Big 8 76. The next night would be at Slinger for an 88 lap. It'd be a good deal for our traveling teams from Iowa, Minnesota, Wisconsin.
pretty close to.
Right, there, the distance is there. It'd be tough on the crews though, because you're at 2 bull rings on 2 nights back to back. So
Hopefully, no issues for any of the teams.
yeah, but that's our thoughts right now. So that all depends on really what happens with the state of Illinois when we can get started.
You don't get a definite answer for anything.
I've got different A, B, C, D, E, F, G plans for a schedule.
So much speculation.
And then there's another one now. Now I've got 2 A's and 2 B's if this goes this way and that way. So the Big 8 series, this will stay right there for a moment. The first race now is scheduled for, I believe it's May 29th, the Friday, at Hawkeye Downs in Cedar Rapids Speedway. And on Thursday, they've been testing over there at Hawkeye Downs. There's no shutdown. Well, there wasn't until Thursday. Then the governor there said, okay, you're done until April 30th. So that shut the Hawkeye Downs testing down. And but they're still planning on opening up their regular Friday night shows on May 15th. We're still scheduled to be there. Now, we are having some issues with the sponsor for that event, so that one might get moved. And like I said, everything might get moved. So where does that leave us at Rockford right now?
They're asking when they can run the track for.
Well, I'm getting to that point, I guess.
They're asking too.
Yeah, not the only ones, believe me.
No.
Well, it was interesting about that test and tune because Slinger just started it on Thursday, and it took Todd up there working with the city officials, the mayors, and some technical stuff to make that actually happen, because there was a lot of resistance, obviously, and he has opened it up, and he has been able to continue it into this current shutdown deal. So, as I had said here on the show before, we're going to lay back in Rockford and not stir things up, but now it's time to get going. I know the cold weather last week, actually tonight, we would have been practicing for the Spring Classic, and we would have been racing that tomorrow. No rain in the forecast. It would have been a little chilly, however, but 55 and sunny and 30-mile-an-hour winds. It wouldn't be the Spring Classic without that, would it? Or
That's
snow.
fine.
The
Fine
snow
by
this
me.
morning, like you said.
Yeah, the snow, but that'll melt, and then
Yeah,
a little
fine.
chilly's not bad.
So getting to the practice at Rockford, my goal is to get the track open by next Saturday. Don't call me, don't tell me. I'm going to got a meeting with the mayor on Monday, the police chief, just to check in again and say, here, this is what I want to do. And
The phones are ringing already.
I can imagine. So I shut mine off. Can't hear it. But that's kind of the plan. And of course, we'll practice the social distancing, the 10 feet, 10 people, 10 hours, whatever.
Yeah,
Whatever
there's
all
gotta
that
be some
stuff
type of
is.
schedule for that when it comes up. I was thinking
Right.
that like so many people in at a time or something like that.
It would be kind of like a track rental situation. It probably wouldn't be an open practice where everybody can come. You'd have to schedule it. And,
Yeah.
And I think we could do more than one. The pits are big enough. You go over here, you go over here.
Oh,
Don't
yeah.
congregate. All these crazy rules. I'm not in favor of a lot of this that's going on, obviously, but
I don't think very many people are, but it is what it is. We got to deal with it, and we're gonna move
that's we're
forward
gonna do the
however we
best
can.
we can with it. Yeah. So back to the Rockford schedule. Right now, we're still planning on May 2nd with the Enduro. But knowing how politics works, my guess, my hedge bet tonight is Illinois is going to go to the 26th, just like Wisconsin.
Yep.
So that's why that's A schedule and B schedules. So we're really kind of just playing it year by or day by day. Most likely we'll probably start for last weekend in May, first part of June with the town fair, do the Enduro, and then start our racing after that. So
So do you know if NASCAR for our Wheeling series are their points going to be a little different this year because of this?
yeah, they're
It's
looking
like
at
a
it.
14-night deal they got going.
Yeah,
So I think maybe if they say it's an 8-night thing, and so you don't lose so many points in that.
That is in the discussions because, it depends when we really get started too. I hate to say it, this could get pushed back even
It
further.
doesn't sound like we're going to get 14 nights.
No, I don't think so,
So,
this year.
so that's a question I was thinking myself. I don't know. Somebody else probably had the same question, but
Yeah, I know. There's so many different aspects of how everything affects everybody. From the NASCAR deal to points, and then you got state points, and then
Right.
all. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just
not just
It
Rockford
just
points,
grows,
there's
right.
so many other things that we race
exactly.
for, which is kind of attractive to Rockford being NASCAR. You can get all that benefits and stuff.
Oh yeah, yes, definitely. And we plan on being part of the NASCAR program again, and just everything just kind of got put on skid marks and held down. And
Oh, they locked it down. Oh man.
well, tell me your best NASCAR story. I mean, I think it was you were the rookie of the year, or you won the. What was it where you went to
I did
Charlotte?
go to Charlotte because I got in the top 5 in the national points for division, whatever the road running division is.
Division 4, I think. At
Is
that
it
time.
4? Yeah. So we won a lot of races that year. We had probably 15 cars, I think we averaged, so it wasn't too bad, but we won a lot and we accumulated a lot of NASCAR points. We actually had to go to Minnesota to gain, I think,
That's right, you ran it out.
5 or 6 more points to make it, and we did, so it helped.
You did go to Charlotte or not?
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
Because I remember you coming back from that, and you said, "Man, I
I
want
wanna
to
go
go back." That's cool.
It was so fun.
Yeah, they throw a good party and very
Yeah.
professional and big production.
I think
Yes.
Mike Helton, Mike Joy, they were literally 3 feet away from me.
Oh, really?
And then Joy was talking about the guy that was on stage talking. He was talking, there's a group of like 4 of us. He was talking to us about how not to act like that guy up there.
Who was that? You
I don't remember who it was,
Alright.
but he has hands in his pocket or something like that. He's like, you know how professional these guys are
Right,
down
right.
there. I was like, so when I was up there on stage, I obviously didn't get to talk, but hands were like, I don't want Joy to yell at me.
Did they do you? Did they, prior to that? Did they say, "Okay, keep your this is
No, he
just
was
off the
just-
side"?
He was
Okay.
just bitching about the guy that was up
Oh,
there.
all
Not,
right.
I was like, okay, mental note, not do that.
Yeah, that's amazing. But I remember, like I said, you came back and you go, "Man, I want to do that." And obviously now you've graduated from the Roadrunners. We jumped
We jumped
from
a
the
lot.
Roadrunners to the late model. Here we are today in the background. How was this week's progress? It didn't get done this week, or?
I got a few little things done, but not a whole lot.
All
We
right,
got a lot
I know.
I binge watching shows on Netflix.
I think a lot of people have been
Yeah,
doing that.
that was I pretty much quarantined myself in my room and Netflix. I came out here a couple times. It's a few little things. There's not a whole lot to do besides paint and stuff like that.
Well, you'll be ready by the time.
Yeah.
Or are you ready to practice next weekend?
No, I won't be ready next weekend.
All right. Well, just don't. I didn't promise everybody that. You got to listen to the whole thing. We're working on that. That's our goal.
I should. I mean,
That's our goal. So
it won't take me long to be ready. So.
then some other big news in Misfit Productions. Kyle and his crew. I believe it's 10,000 subscribers finally, huh? After how many years have we been doing this? 3 years? 4 years? 5? I don't remember. That's
We're actually almost at 1,100 already.
awesome. 1,100. he said.
10.4.
And I was looking the other night and
What a
I
big
saw.
shot.
Yeah. I saw our 2018 world famous figure 8 trailer race. Like 10 days ago, had 1 million views.
Jeez.
Yeah, the video's broken 1 million views already. It was one of our first on the channel to actually hit 1 million. So pretty fun.
But in the
to,
last
see
10
that.
days, the best I can tell, and I don't know if my numbers, I'm sure Kyle's got a better deal, but in the last week or 10 days, there's been 80,000 views. So people are definitely,
There's
there's definitely people at home watching stuff because
Well,
then
yeah,
you read
in-
the comments on some of that. That's
Yeah,
the fun part.
In the last 7 days alone, we've had 129.5 thousand views.
Holy cow.
So these people, they're watching racing. You know, they want to get back to racing. And, a lot of positive stuff about the track too. Like, where is this place? We gotta go.
Yeah, there's.
How do we get there? How far is it?
I can't
Tagging
believe they
people
do
and-
this.
oh, that's awesome.
Not that far.
Yeah, like I say, I like reading the comments because it's, you just. And some people, oh gosh, that's stupid. You get the highs and the lows, obviously, but
It ain't no tennis, I'll tell you that.
So it looks like we do have some questions here from our Facebook viewers. DJ, why are you the Raiders fan? Or why is the Raiders your favorite team?
Bo Jackson.
Is it?
Oh, as a little kid, Bo Jackson was the man back in the early 90s. Late 80s, early 90s, Bo Jackson.
You didn't live there, or just none of that.
No.
Just
Bo
picked up
knows.
on Bo.
Bo knows.
There you go.
And sucked me right in from a young age and
So
broke my heart ever since.
being right here in South Beloit, are you a Packers fan or a
No,
Bear
Bears,
fan?
more Bears.
Okay.
Bears are my second team.
Well, personally, I don't like any of them. Just so you know that.
I'm a huge football fan. I love watching.
I like
football.
watching it, and I say why I'm not a fan is unfortunately when we get to the end of the race season and the Packers are playing or the Bears are playing against one of our events, then I don't like them. But once the race season's over, then I watch football. So that's the only reason I don't like them.
During like the end of the season, my phone is on and I'm watching Raider games, even when I'm at the track. I'm streaming them or I'm paying attention on the play-by-plays or something. And
Well, you're a diehard fan. That's all right. I mean, that's.
I gotta watch. I have to. I gotta know what's going on with my guys.
And you think about all the other sports we're talking about now. There's baseball and two people or two seats apart, and you got to wear a mask. I don't know if they're going to do this stuff.
Yeah, that would.
But I start thinking, how do we adapt at Rockford Speedway, for example? What are we going to get ourselves caught into? And I've ordered a dozen.
Race nights. Ooh.
I've ordered a dozen thermometers. I'm thinking that's going to be our first thing that we're going to have, even when we rent the track.
Get the digital one.
Yeah.
Shoot in the forehead.
Then we got one that'll shoot water at them if they're. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh no, you got a fever.
Yeah.
Punching bag comes out. Bam.
Excuse me. But there's things like that.
Open
You
up
know,
the bag
social
straight away
distance,
so you can.
more seating, and so that's why this whole schedule might be completely different and odd. And I had mentioned before, maybe we don't run as many divisions and spread. I have no idea how it's all going to work.
It's gonna be hard. That's a hard decision to make.
Right. And then there's a chunk of this world that's probably never ever going to come out of their house again after all this, And
there's a
not
lot
that
of
don't go to
people-
the racetrack,
There's a
but
lot of people are like, you know what? I don't care what they say. If they open, I'm going.
yeah. We were trying to put a number on that. How many people, is it 60% that'll go to the racetrack or go to events?
I would think it's more split down the middle. I would think.
50-50,
I
you
think it's
think?
50-50.
Yeah, it's a quantitative number that who knows, but it's stuff you start thinking about. Even if we can race, we got to have people in the stands. So,
Right.
I mean, it's a vicious little cycle that we're in.
You have cars in the pits. I mean, some people might not want to race because it's too close to other people or.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. We'll bring in food trailers or whatever it takes to spread things out, or remote satellite beer stands. So you can't. I'm willing to try anything, and we're going to try anything. Believe me, we're going to race this year.
Yeah, we need it.
We all need it.
all
Our
need it.
sanity it's crazy.
We're all going a little bit more insane every day.
And this week it's going to pick up because the warm weather's coming back to the
Yeah.
world. So.
Yeah,
I
you
guess
can't
I'm
sit
glad
in your
we're not-
house and watch it be 70 degrees and sunny outside. You can't sit in your house and watch that. That's tough.
And you mow the yard and your neighbors and you're kicking up all these allergens and dust and oh my God. And so now we're not going to be able to mow our yards.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm glad we don't live in Michigan because the restrictions they did there are crazy.
In New York, jeez.
You can take your sailboat or your canoe out, but you can't take your 16-foot fishing boat with a motor out.
What the hell's the difference?
Exactly. And you own the lock. Your pier is at the lake, or your pier and the boat's at the lake or in your yard. It just doesn't make sense on that side of it,
But
but
you can drive down the interstate and you're literally like 3 feet apart.
it's true.
What
That's
the
true.
hell's the difference?
Well, and that's part of the operation at Rockford Speedway, also have the Forest Hills Lodge building next door, and we do banquets, weddings, conventions, all sorts of things, and that's been shut down. And we were talking about, okay, when we get going there, how is our social distancing and that type of aspect going to work? And fortunately, we have 5-foot tables, round tables, and I was able to acquire 6-foot tables. So now we can use these 6-foot tables so you can technically socially sit at a table legally, I guess it is. But so there's just so much stuff going down. Let's get out of that. This is a racing show.
David, do you have any hobbies outside of the Speedway? Dan Lensing wants to know.
Dan Lensing wants to know. Well, I owned a boat once. I did live on the river at the time, and I owned a boat. That was about it, really.
So nothing.
No.
Nothing. Zero.
Hey, when I was younger, I used to ski and all that kind of stuff, but now my knees are bad.
Were you good at it?
Not bad, no. Snow ski.
I hear it's hard to even get out of the water.
Oh, water skiing, yeah. Oh,
Yeah. Oh, you were snow skiing.
Well, I did both, but
Oh.
when you wreck your knees and you fall off a ladder, your outdoor activity levels
Yeah, most
kind
activities
of
are
hurt,
yeah.
so.
Kind of hinders the effects of that. Yeah.
And my other, we do racers auctions in the winter, so I like hanging out at auctions. I guess that would be my, I don't know if it's a
I don't know.
hobby, but
It's fun to go to the auctions, though.
yeah, I love going.
I've been to a bunch of them, never bought a thing, but it's in the off season, and I
Right.
gotta see my guys. I gotta see my people.
That's kind of why we do it.
you know.
And the way things are going, and the way these properties and businesses and stuff are closing, we should be able to pull off an auction this fall or this winter.
Yeah.
Because it's probably very hard to find space to do those. Is
Well,
kind of where our issues were
it's
there.
not big
but-
enough here, otherwise you could have it here.
Yeah, I need that 40,000 square feet,
Yeah,
and then we'd get going. But
This ain't getting it done. I kind of figured, he says.
yeah, what else we got on the inline?
DJ, is your car ready now? No, John, it is not. Sorry.
It's close,
But
he
it's
said.
close. It's
Close.
close enough.
Getting a lot of questions around live streaming a race.
I can't.
Oh yeah.
What would go into it? What would you need to make it happen?
Well, we got the facility. Unfortunately, we would need some sponsors or something to take care of the racers. I mean, I'd love to do it. I mean, Kyle, I almost called you about 2 weeks ago and said, all right, what would it take? Cameras, announcers. Would you do it live too, or you can it?
Well, I
But
think-
everybody wants live,
I
so
think people too, they're referring, Cletus McFarland out of Florida. They just did a 100 lap, basically Crown Vic Enduro,
right.
social distancing, live stream only, pay per view only. They charge $9.99 ahead of time, $14.95 the day of the race, and you got to watch the pre-show, which was them drawing for lines. They did interviews with every single driver on the track, and they did bring in a production company to do it. It's a lot of people, they really, they're thinking, hey, we can Facebook Live a race and it's super easy, but really it's not that easy. Yeah, you can get a video stream, but you got to have announcers. You got to be able to have good
Mixing,
audio.
editing,
Got to
and
mix it, yeah, and plus having no fans in the stands.
So it's in the works.
It's hard.
Well,
it
it's-
could, but even if we were to do something as Misfit Productions, we would need some sponsorship support too, some really big support to get the equipment.
we need more equipment. Yeah. You think of an Ice Hogs game in downtown Rockford when they're doing that. There's the semi outside, and guess what that's full of? All the equipment.
Yeah.
You don't
Yeah.
just turn that on and go. But
Maybe they can hook us up.
that's
Only need $140,000 for that truck.
140
it?
grand for the
That's
truck.
it?
Okay. Yeah. The Chicago Wolves do that. Yeah. No, that's my other idea was, you sit here, not right here, but you sit and thinking, I'm going, all right, maybe I do a drive-in movie. Stay in your car. And that came around, there was portable screens you can put up, and then it turned into high school graduations. You build the stage, and you have all the people in the cars and the students. So, we have these facilities, not just Rockford, but all these racetracks sitting, doing nothing. Let's do something, but I had a live stream and a live race. That would be tough. As a racer, would would you do it? I mean, you'd love to do it, but could you get sponsors? Because I don't know where the payoff would come from. I mean, that would be unless we could do a pay-per-view type deal.
Talking
but
about like a regular race night type thing.
I don't know if you'd do a whole race night.
like
I would maybe
two or
a
three
division.
divisions,
Yeah.
maybe one division.
Or we do a 76 lap feature or 2 twins or something.
With late models.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
You know what I mean? I'd probably easy to start with an enduro type event, you know.
I don't have one of those cars, but I have a late model.
That went past the tech line, that's for sure.
Just 2-lap penalty, right?
Yeah. And some tire penalties and so forth and so on, but so yes, if this does get pushed back even further, then
They just shut down, Dan. Dan said if Iowa's still open, let's try and get some local races to go over there and race. You mentioned they just shut down Iowa.
well, to April 30th, so they're planning their regular season to start. I think it's like May 15th, that Friday night. So
maybe we could do that. That's a good idea then, Dan.
that is
Yeah.
a good idea. I will see what happens with Iowa's not part of the Midwest Pact of governors, so I noticed that they're the only ones, and they haven't had. They had I think 19 cases of this virus deal in Iowa, so they're really
It's really not many.
right.
Yeah.
If the wave comes across the nation like experts claim, then that's what I guess they're preparing for. So, but yeah, I know they've been, like I said, they've been practicing over there, guys testing, and I guess some track up in northern Wisconsin was doing some testing, and Indiana. So it's time.
It's definitely It's definitely time to get
Time to
something
crank the engines up and scare the neighbors, and that was my biggest concern. Is you know the neighborhood and people are quote quarantined in their house, and they're there's racing.
How much are they gonna cry?
But there's the motocross track in South Rockford that you can rent that 10 people. That's all you can have. You got to rent it out, and they're doing that. So
Why can't
we do practicing? That's what I'm. But you know, here we are, Rockford versus Lowe's Park versus. At least we're all in Winnebago County, so I don't know.
They fight you guys a lot, anyways.
No, not as bad, you know. I mean,
I just don't like the curfew stuff. Oh, I hate that.
and we're fortunate we don't have a set curfew. I mean, we self-impose a good neighbor curfew.
Just to
But-
keep
You know, like Dells or whatever. If he goes over or
Yeah.
Slinger, they go
They gotta
over.
pay a
They get
fine or whatever.
penalties, and that's so unfair
It
to
is.
the racers and the fans, obviously, because you can't tell what's going to happen in a night. Otherwise you got to start at 4:00 in the
what if you get
afternoon.
a 30-minute red flag?
Right? There's
That could potentially take 2 features out of the whole night. You know?
and you're done.
Yeah,
so
that sucks.
when I'm screaming, "Let's go, let's go, let's go!" I'm not under a curfew. I know there's kids in the stands and it's getting late, and we just need to be good neighbors. But
I'd race all night if you let us.
the 24 hours of Rockford.
Hell yeah.
Hey, look at that.
In a figure 8.
Ooh.
That's great.
Well, that's a pondering moment to think about. That is something.
I'm in.
What else we getting on the line?
Oh, hell. Let's see what we got here.
Or let's go to you. Let's tell that we've piecemealed all around the whole show.
Yeah.
What made you start racing? I guess Beck. I think your dad. And
My dad, yes,
Your dad
exactly.
raced, and then you just walked into the.
My
deal?
dad raced, and it was awesome to go watch. And then get to watch all these guys back in the early 90s. And my brother started racing, and then I started racing. And it was really fun. First car, I was working, I think, at Motorola, and then somebody had some Mazda for $100, and you just started the Hornet division. This was like 99. So, all right, I bought this guy's car, and I went and raced it once, and I think I left the car there. I think I got 3rd place that night. It was the first time I ever been on the track. I think I got 3rd. I think I left the car there because I don't remember what happened to it. Well, that's pretty fun. Then me and my cousin got a Oldsmobile.
Were you old enough to drink at that point?
No, I was 19.
Okay,
No.
I just well, you forgot the
No.
car. Maybe I was wondering
And-
how big the party was afterwards.
Yeah, no, it was. I just
All right.
went home, and I don't really remember much. But I got one car me and my cousin shared for an Enduro, the Goblin, and then that was still in '99. And then 2000, I'm gonna race. So you started the Slammer division.
Right.
I knocked the windows out of a Monte Carlo I bought from Borderline Auto. I think I paid $500 for a car, knocked the windows out of it, started racing Slammers. Won the first time I was in there because you ran 2 features. Like, oh, this is fun. Oh, yeah, your next race ain't for 3 or 4 weeks. Son of a bitch. All right, I'm going to race Roadrunners instead. So we got to race twice a week, and I thought that was the coolest thing. So I raced part of that season, 2000, and all 2001. And then, well, I missed a couple nights, 2001. And then 2002, we won the first championship in the Roadrunners.
Awesome.
And then Mike won in the same car the next year, 2003.
wow.
So that's what kicked it all off. And then we kind of switched. Me and Mike were switching, we went to Jefferson and then to Rockford like every other year. We ran Rockford on the big shows and then
Right.
ran Jefferson part-time that year and started racing full-time again at Rockford in 2010, I think. Roadrunners. Figure 8 was my first figure 8 season. It was
So you won the
2010.
Roadrunner Championship how many times?
3.
3? And
Yeah.
then the figure 8 championship?
2, I think.
2?
I think
I
2.
did-
I don't remember.
I was going to bring the
I know
record book, but
my first year racing the figure 8, I raced with the late, great Tom Schneider, and I tied for the championship with him.
oh, wow.
And you would think you'd feel kind of bad because, oh, man, you got second. No, I just tied with Tom Schneider. We're good. And then next year we won, so
Awesome.
it was pretty cool.
So what year did you make the switch to the late models?
16. 15, I was going to retire in 15 because there's nothing else to do in the Roadrunners, right? I've won
Right.
everything, short tracks, figure 8 short tracks, championships on Saturdays and Wednesdays. There's nothing left to do. I can't afford to move up to any division. Yeah, I'm just going to race 2015 and be done. And then, yeah, hell with it. We'll try it. Took a loan out and got some sponsors together and got a late model.
Awesome.
Ran that 16, right? No, 7 or 17. 16 was off. I raced twice. I attempted to race the late model twice in 16, I think. I think I
Okay.
broke a rocker arm or something. And I tried to race, so I didn't really have any races under my belt until Spring Classic 2017.
Well,
We
we're not
both-
going to talk about
We
that
both
today.
know how that.
We're not going
turned
to talk
out.
about that. We're done with that one. Going back to the Roadrunner days, what was the best win or the biggest win for you?
Biggest, oh man,
I
I
mean,
don't know.
emotionally or in your mind, I guess.
There's a couple of them. Short track is big, always.
Right.
And winning on opening night is always huge. And that I've never done that until 2014. I won opening night and we started in the trunk.
Oh, wow.
And me and Frisch we started in the back and we just Adam Cartwright was in that race and he was fast all night too. And we just kind of worked our way up there and no cautions from the back and there was a ton of cars that night. And we won that race and that was pretty big.
So that probably kicks off the year, sets it in a good role in
Yeah,
motion.
2014 we won 14 features I think that year.
Wow.
We won a lot. In 2015 we only won 10, but we only raced on Saturdays
Okay.
instead of doing both nights. So
Yeah, we're not doing the Wednesday nights anymore, but moving that all to Saturdays, which isn't a bad deal.
that was my favorite part when I first started racing. Oh,
Twice
yeah.
a week.
Because some people bitch, but some people didn't. Oh, you got to race on Wednesdays. Oh, it's for points. What? No, you get to race on Wednesday. What are you talking about? And I loved it because I get to race during the middle of the week.
It was, if you did that Saturday and Wednesdays, it was like 30,
You got,
35
if you
races,
saved,
I think.
If you saved your pit pass back then from Wednesday or from Saturday, from one or the other,
Right.
you can use that pit pass to get in for, I think it was $5 into the pits. If you race on Wednesday, or if you race Saturday and you're going to race Wednesday.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
And it was I think it was like $5 to get in. And then we ran regular gas in our car. So what do you spend $10 in gas? You're going to spend $25 to get to race,
Yeah,
you know. And you can't even go go-karting for that.
not anymore. That's
So,
for sure.
and I've never been the type of guy to race for the money. 'Cause there is no money in it. It's a hobby. Where can you go have that much fun and you spend $50?
Oh yeah.
You know, even if you did poorly in the road runners and you spent $50.
So moving on to the late model life, obviously we had the opening and we've blossomed from there.
Yeah, we got shot
What's
out of a cannon from there.
yeah. What's the biggest moment there? I remember I still got a
win.
picture your wife gave me at Victory Lane.
The win was
But that had to be the
I mean, that is the biggest racing moment of my whole racing career. Is that late model? I've won championships and short tracks. That Saturday night, 30-lap late model feature win. That's it.
who were you battling with? Do you remember?
Junior. Oh, me and Junior went at it.
Okay, that's
He
right.
he
that's
threw
right.
everything that he could, and he didn't do me dirty. He raced clean, raced hard, and it was
Did you say Junior?
yeah, I know, right? Yeah, replay that. He didn't. It was
The X-Man.
it was good.
If you're watching.
He races good a lot.
No, I know.
Sometimes he doesn't, but a lot of times he does.
Yeah, it's an emotional game, isn't it?
Oh,
When you get
man.
behind the wheel. So
It's-
tell me, was it last year or 2 years ago? You were leading. Caution comes out, and I think everybody knows when you're up front, the whole grandstand's with you.
Yeah.
I mean, you got a big fan base
You
that
can
are
feel it
supporting.
too. You can feel it.
So what happened that night? You had it in your hands.
That was last. The exhaust was last year. That
Was that-
wasn't a caution here. That was just me.
Oh, well, let's try to make it sound a little better.
There's
for you,
been a lot of nights in the last couple of years that I would be leading by maybe a half straightaway, 4 or 5 car lengths. Caution would come out. Bam, there's Mikey. There's Junior. Son of a bitch. All right, let's see if we can hold on here. And then you hold on for as long as you can and end up top 3, top 4, or whatever. We got, like last year, we got 4th a lot. It was Mikey, Junior, and Max. And once you get shuffled out, it's hard to, they pounce, man. They're like, oh, he's sitting duck. He's up there.
Boom, lamp.
And it's hard to, but the night with the exhaust, we had that in the bag.
Yeah.
There was like 8 laps left or something. I mean, nobody was catching us. Junior might have got to us within a car length, maybe.
Right.
But there was no way we were going to lose that race. Exhaust falls off. Think the motor's blowing up. I backed off next to the wall. I wanted to get out of the groove so I didn't ruin everybody else's race. And it's championship night, everything else. Hit the gas. They get off the track. You know, see if there's any power left to get off the track. Holy shit! I got a ton of power still. So I take back off. Like, all right. Oh, Junior's door to door now, and then door to door a little harder, and then he takes off. And I tried to get back to his bumper. I couldn't do it. I ran in there, turned 3 a little harder, and just missed him. And then Mikey's there, so I'm on defense. So I did hold Mikey off for a second. That was pretty impressed with myself on that. Well, we should have won that night.
So what you're saying, you're driving along and you hear this odd noise coming out of and then you're going, uh-oh, I'm about ready to grenade my motor.
Yeah, I got on the
so
radio
I better
and
back
said,
off.
I hit the
She's
button.
blowing up.
We're blowing up.
Yep.
Took off up the hill, and no, we're not. It was. I
I remember going into him that night, and he didn't even talk. He just kept his head down.
Junior was like, "Man, you were sitting duck," and you're like, "You were off." He's like, "You were off the pace. You were sitting duck." I don't want to hear it right now. We've talked about it quite a bit. He signed my door championship night winner, bastard. Oh, he probably gonna give me crap about that for years to come.
So looking forward to this year. If we ever get racing, what do you got? What's the plan?
Same as last year, pretty much.
We got the same tire, same motor on board. There's different.
Yeah, but just-
updated
Just
or
freshened.
just
That's-
freshened?
Yep.
same
So,
car. This is
Yeah, Shear's car still. Well,
That's the
mine,
one-
but we bought from Shear.
right.
The same RCH car, same motor from Power Source.
So the old car, you sold that, or did you do a raffle?
We
for it?
raffled that, yeah.
off, and then
Adam Leonard won, sold it to Trevor
that's
Robinson.
right.
And
Okay,
he's in a race this year.
that's what
hopefully.
he said.
And I can't wait. Man, I love that car too. That's the only car I won the feature in late
Oh.
models. That one, I haven't won one in this one yet. Exhaust
Keep
fell
an eye
off.
on that where it travels down the road. you
Yeah.
know?
So man, I can't wait to see Trevor in that car.
You could get 2 cars in the shop, couldn't you?
I've had them. Oh
Have
yeah.
you? Okay.
Yep.
Get Kyle out. We could. Oh, never mind. Ooh.
As soon as the
Anyway,
equipment's out of here.
yeah, that's right. Stacks of tires, everything. You can't see behind the camera is what it takes to put all this thing together.
Oh, there's a lot of stuff.
A lot of history on those walls back there. Some of the
Yes.
old Roadrunner doors and hoods and
Wilbur
Did-
stuff, Kyle Shear stuff, DJ Smith stuff,
it's kind of
burned
neat.
up car stuff.
We're not talking about that now. That's taboo anymore.
Yeah, I got my old 2015 Roadrunner hood is back there.
Oh wow, there
Yeah.
you go.
When I sold the car to Schinderling, he gave me the hood back.
Awesome. We getting any questions for DJ on the YouTube side of things?
Yeah, we got a few questions out there pending.
Bring it.
Mr. John Magnuson's like on a roll right now.
100
He's a
questions.
bit of a talker, I hear.
Lots of questions, but some good questions. A couple for you, David. 2 things. Dale's Donuts, Windsor's Pizza. If racing ever gets going, will they be back?
Windsor Pizza will be there selling pizza, fresh pizza right out of the concession stand. He is open during this shutdown deal, obviously, with free. I
nice.
think doing free delivery and obviously pickup. Dale's Donuts, however, has retired and sold his trailer
Oh.
to somebody in, I think, the Madison area. I had offered him a spot, and I have not heard back. So
Hopefully,
those
good.
little grease bombs with sugar
Yeah.
and cinnamon on them.
Those are so good, man.
They're so bad for you, but they're so good.
If it's bad for you, it's got to be good.
That's pretty much how it is. But
Probably a unpopular comment, but I've never had a Dale's Donut.
what?
Yeah, saw that coming.
Herm gets them weekly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
moving off of that unpopular answer. DJ, have you ever wanted to drive a Sportsman?
Yep.
All right.
Absolutely.
You have, though, I'm
I have
sure.
never driven.
Never even
I've never
practiced?
driven anything besides a Roadrunner or a late model.
I bet you there's somebody out there that would.
But DJ, would you race anything?
Would you
No.
race anything? Was the question.
I want to race. I probably would. Yeah.
Would you race a super late?
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I know.
I'll race short tracker, sportsman, a bandit. I want to
School
join the
bus?
club of winning a feature in every division, like Berger, I think McCoy.
Okay. Yeah.
I want to join that club. I don't know, but I want to do it.
Here's a couple John Magnuson Jr. questions for you. Have you ever wrecked in the figure 8?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
More than once?
Bad? No, no.
one
Really
bad
bad
one.
once. Yeah.
One bad one.
Yeah.
You ever rolled a car?
Negative.
No.
Nope.
That's a good thing.
John, I think you just jinxed him.
Oh,
Damn it,
boy.
John.
Yep.
I've never hit the point either, John. You want to ask that one?
Yeah, that one's not in here. Not yet.
Yeah, no,
Normally somebody will ask it, but it's not there yet.
No, I don't want to do either one of those things. I've been on fire. Ain't that enough?
Apparently
Yeah.
not.
I rolled the wall big time.
You ever had a rival in racing?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Oh yeah.
Anything you want to talk about?
Yeah. I mean, if everybody I've been a rival with, we're friends. Like me and Bobby went at it for years in the Roadrunners. We're friends.
Bobby Fish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me and Tom Schneider in the figure 8 were rivals, but we hung out after every night. But we're still rivals. I mean, each of our fans weren't very happy with each other, but we hung out all the time. We had a great time.
Mm-hmm. How we know about the fans
Yeah.
or relatives? Let's
Yeah.
say.
I left town no matter what he did.
No, not take you, but there's.
Yeah, there's a couple that
I won't say,
was
but
fun.
I had to throw somebody's mother out. Not throw her out.
Oh,
Suspend
yeah.
her. You might know who it is, but and somebody's dad. I guess probably the whole family if we put down the
Oh,
list.
me and Josh
but
Searing had a pretty good rivalry in the figure 8 too for a while. We're friends now. That's good.
it's a
That's the
passionate
thing with
sport,
racing.
man.
Yeah,
That's the
that's
you
the
know.
thing with racing. It's heated on the track, and everybody wants to win. I get that.
Mhm.
And sometimes you really, really want to win, and there's a big rivalry for a few years, and then next
Stuff.
thing you know, most of the time we talked anyway all the time. So
It's something happens on the racetrack. You're down in the pits. You're yelling, spits flying between each
yeah,
other. Half hour later, you're rubbing elbows. And
most of it was
sharing
the fans.
beers, and
Really, most of it was the fans more than the drivers. Honestly,
that stirs the stuff up.
yeah, we just always rather drink beer together.
Don't call the cops.
No, I know.
Half hour later, they're friends again.
Yeah, you never call the cops because
No.
you're right. We're gonna be friends again anyways. It doesn't matter.
We have security at the racetrack. We can, if we need them, we will call them.
There's nothing a beer can't fix, right?
Most of the time, yes.
So, do you got a question for you, David? Steve, what is it? Steve Beckel?
Beckel, yes.
Yeah, I got a question for you. What was it like dealing with the NASCAR guys when they came to race over the years? Bobby Allison, Waltrip, Earnhardt, so many others have run on the track. What was it like working with those guys or dealing with those guys?
They were all really, really good. I mean, they're fun. They were having fun, back in that time of things.
It wasn't their job to come to Rockford.
Right. Well,
Yeah,
we
they
paid them
wanted to-
essentially, but
Right, yeah, but they had fun.
yeah,
Yeah.
they would race and would get the cars set up for them and letter them their number. Not all that, but a lot of the times. But and they're all a hoot. They're just they were in Earnhardt. Does everybody think, oh, he's such a mean and grouchy guy? He was really, really funny and very comical when it came down to it. Petty came. We did his fan appreciation tour, and I ended up getting like 500 STP hats, and the whole show's they're all over with. And Petty didn't race that time anyway, but he's off relaxing in the. We had a motor coach for him, and here I come in with 2 boxes of hats, and I go, Richard, I know you're tired. Can you sign these as I can hand them out throughout the rest of the year and so forth? And he looked up and he said, sure, bring them on over. And man, that guy, he was just
He just went signing. Huh?
yeah. To him, it's like a stamp. And
Yeah.
I mean, just think how many signatures he's done over his lifetime. But very cool. I wish we could do that again. I didn't mention a couple weeks ago that unfortunately the price tag of those guys has just gone out of the room. And then
I was waiting for him to come back to us. Like Matt Kenseth. I'm waiting for Matt Kenseth to come back and start racing at Rockford and Jefferson, Madison again, And people like that are retired. Where's Carl Edwards? He should come race with us.
yeah,
know?
that and how, not that I don't like him, but how did he get voted into the Hall of Fame? Did I see that? I don't know if he was nominated or he got voted in
I
as
didn't-
one of the voting on, but
Really?
I
didn't
like
know
Carl.
that.
I mean,
didn't know that.
the the black backflip out of the window.
Yeah.
Great stuff. People
Carl
love
is a
that.
wheel man. He wheeled the shit out of them cars.
And he came from dirt.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
He's
where he got
good.
started in or Missouri or
He
Kansas.
retired too early. He could have still won a lot of races. Matt Kenseth
Yeah.
too. They almost get shoved out of there, I think.
It's kind of interesting now that they're playing all these 80s and 90s cup races since there's no
Yeah,
live
I've
TV,
watched- I was watching
And it's
one
like-
the other night. I was watching a Bristol race, right? And then I watched the whole pre-show and everything, and they went to qualify and they failed to qualify. Dick Trickle and Rich Bickle for the race, and that's what Rich Bickle races with us. He comes to Rockford and races.
Yeah.
So we still, he's doing it, and these other guys should do it too.
No, Bickle's, as well as you know, he was here on
Yeah,
the show,
yeah.
a month or so ago, and he is a character, I tell you.
Yeah, he's a cool dude, man. He's a cool
He's-
dude.
But he's intimidating at the racetrack. I mean, he stands
Yeah, he's
6 tall,
7 foot tall, and
and when he gets mad, he gets mad. I mean, I've seen that side of Richie Bickle, so
yeah. I wouldn't want to cross him.
no, I don't think so either.
So I'll run the limited. He can come run the super. I can just cheer him on.
Yeah.
If I get in his way, I don't want to. I don't know what I'd do if he come up to me.
Yeah.
Sorry, dude. That's
Yeah.
all I could say. Keep your helmet on.
All right, what else we got? Any good thing? Good?
What do we got here? No, John, I've never won the Hare and the Hound because I really never done challenge races. I
You
never
really haven't, have you?
Nope, I'm not a challenge race guy. Never have been. How do I feel when I pull out on the track for the feature? Am I nervous? No, John, I'm not nervous.
The first time you were.
The very first time I was not nervous still. I was
Really?
never really nervous. I've never gotten nervous for racing. The only nerves I would have is if I'm going to win or not like actually racing and being scared.
So,
I'm more nervous not to win than I am to wreck.
so you're out leading the feature. Beyond the motor issue night, do you start watching, or is your spotter telling you 10 laps to go? Does your level of not
No.
nervousness, but
Honestly,
just
it doesn't. It should, right?
you
It
would
should.
think as you
It
get
should.
closer, because something could happen, or the motor
not
goes
until
sour.
not until I'm done. Not until the checkered flag is when emotions start coming, or like say you wreck, and you're not racing no more, but you wrecked, and now the emotions start. But while I'm racing the whole time, it's like nothing. I'm just even. I got a job to do, and I'm gonna keep doing it until it's over with, whether it's checkered flag or crash or. But yeah, I don't ever.
You brought up a good point that when you wreck, not just you and everybody else, unfortunately, the first guys that are there are the safety team and then the tow truck guys.
And they get an
And-
earful.
Exactly. That's what I was going to go. They blaming everything on those poor guys, and I want to give a shout out to our safety team and the tow team, Chris Adcock and Richie Swartout. You know, I have to go down at the end of the night and talk to them and calm them down because
They do a wonderful job.
they do a
Man.
heck of a job, and
They really do.
they got the temperament to handle it. Because I can understand, you just wrecked your race car, you're going to be mad. You're going to be mad at
they have
everybody.
to
You're
deal
going to
with
be mad at the guy that caused it.
Right.
And you're the first recipients, you know.
You got to do something about that guy. What do you want me to do? Go tow his car? Because that's what I'm here for.
It's probably what he said to you.
No, I've never said anything. I always respected those guys so much. I don't think I've ever yelled at a tow truck guy because they're there to help you,
Yeah, they're
right? If it wasn't for that, what are you gonna do? Go in there, get your truck and trailer, and try to winch the car into the trailer and get it off the track so they can keep racing? No, they're there to help you.
We'll drag it out with the skid loader and dent it up more and
Oh,
bend
yeah.
your drive shaft. I mean, and they get accused of causing more damage to a wrecked car. It's, you know, it's
For one, it's a wrecked car, so it's probably not too easy to pull off the track without maybe making some more dings in it.
yeah. And then today, as well as we know, these cars are ground suckers, or we're trying to keep them from doing that.
Yeah.
And you can't get underneath them. And a lot of guys, well, especially these little cars, they don't have any tow hooks, or there's no frame, or
Yeah.
you know, like these Bandits and stuff. There's nothing to hook to. So you just kind
Skid
of
loader.
that's kind of how that goes. But I just wanted to make a shout out to those guys, and because that's an integral part of the whole racing program that nobody really sees. You know,
Yeah.
And when I
Yep.
announce that night, I want to make sure I talk about those guys.
They're really good
'Cause,
at their job too.
You know,
They
one
are.
night they could sit in the truck the whole night. Really, I mean, if we go green, and it does happen. It does happen. And then the next week, they could barely catch a breath because
Yeah.
it's out, in the pits, and then
And not only that, but they will also haul your car home
yeah,
for you. Like if it's so bad you can't get it on the trailer, they will haul you home. I mean, sometimes. I mean, not telling everybody that, hey, they're gonna haul you home. Don't worry about it. But
Right,
haul.
they don't.
Chris has hauled me home a couple of times.
Yeah, he does it. Well, he's a great guy. Richie started. Well, Richie used to race figure eight
Yeah,
and
yep.
Roadrunners and all that, and
Richie, me and Richie talk for 15 minutes every single race night.
That's
Before
it?
before the races.
that's it.
Oh, I know, but we're always.
He can talk a lot.
We're
too.
getting tires
He's
and
good.
stuff, and then I look forward to every Saturday. Swartout comes over and he parks his truck by my car. I'm always parked at the end there. We sit there for 15 minutes just shooting the shit. He's always telling me how to be patient. He's always trying to coach, you know how rich he is. So he's got some advice for me every single Saturday night.
Me too, and I appreciate it. He's got
Yeah.
some great ideas, and
Absolutely, yeah.
and it's and sometimes the timing isn't always right where you can have the time to chat with him.
Right.
But it's if not, he'll call me or text me. So that's good to know.
He's a good dude.
Yeah, And Dan was here about this 2 weeks ago, and he's coming back on the safety crew, and
Yeah.
I've had many guys over the years on the safety crew, and that's a bad job too. Not
Yeah.
a bad job, but you're in the infield. Everybody goes, oh, you get to see the races. Well, you got to do this the whole night, walk in a circle. When I'm out there, I figured you stay in one spot.
And if there's a bad wreck, you're the first guy that don't know what to expect when you get to the car, right?
True.
That's gotta be gut wrenching right there.
Yeah.
Like when Freeman hit the point and started on fire, I would not want to have been the first guy over there because that was just really scary.
Well, we're not going to talk about that one, but there's been a lot of those events over the years. If you
Well,
think
Jake
about
hit the point. Oh, at short track, that was violent too. There was no way I could have been there because I'd have just ran the other way. Obviously, he's fine, but it's so scary.
Well, I know when Freeman hit the point that night, and then he was working on the car trying to get back together, and he said the things that you never expect are bent. The gauges, obviously your pedals and all that stuff,
Yeah.
but the gauges and the shifters, and once you don't look at all that stuff till you get it back to the shop, and you
Yeah.
start looking at stuff, and he goes, it was incredible. The force that the body threw at all these parts.
Into a tire and
Yeah.
yeah.
Thank God the tires
And
there.
he absorbed that
it.
himself, as sitting in the seat. He absorbed that.
The initial hit and then the landing is the other one,
Yeah.
when you come down. So anyway, that's the exciting part of racing. It's part of it, but
I'd rather see somebody door somebody for the win than that any day.
they're excellent. That's why we do trailer races and the
Right.
crazy stuff
Yep.
to wreck stuff for people that are in the destruction mode. That's kind of how that program works. So
Yeah, you get the wrecks on them nights. That should
well,
be
everybody
enough.
wrecks
That should be
that
enough.
night,
That should
but-
be enough, right?
should be.
That should be able to hold you off for the season. A trailer race.
Yeah. What else we getting, Kyle? Anything from the YouTube folks? He's smiling over there. You don't want to repeat that one. I
Oh,
get you.
Trevor said, "Remember when I came out of the infield after the race like cold trickle and smashed into you?" Yes, I remember that.
Tell us what happened. Fill us all in.
I think me and Terrence got into it on the track, and I think Trevor just was sticking up for his older brother and just come wow, or it was something like that. I don't really remember. It was me versus both of those guys for some reason.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, that little feud didn't last long either.
Did he scare you when he was coming out after you?
No,
You saw him coming, and
it wasn't like he didn't do anything that bad.
it wasn't the old,
I didn't understand what I did wrong.
oh,
That was my whole thing. Like,
Something.
what did I do? I don't think we've ever really talked about it, honestly. Me and Trevor and Johnny and Terrence. I
I
just
think
think we just kind of let it go after a week, and that was it.
the best story in retaliation, at least at Rockford, goes back to Al Papini. And God, who was it?
Sargent, right?
Was it Sargent?
Yeah, when he took his hauler out on the
Yeah,
track.
Papini ends up in the pits, and then back then he had the old ramp style hauler,
Yeah.
pick up with you put the car in. Very cool, I think. I love those ramp trucks.
Oh yeah, Eckhart
But then
still runs
it
one.
comes putzing out, and then he starts chasing after him. It was hilarious.
That
I know
was nuts.
there is a video out about it.
Yeah, Franklin has one. He posts it like once a year, I think.
And Sargent pulls away, and then he chases him, and it was hilarious.
That was nuts.
But that's Al Papini at that
Yeah.
time, He
Was that the 80s?
Yeah, it had to be the 80s.
In the 80s? Yeah, that was a long time ago.
But we don't want to talk about retaliation too much. We want to talk about real racing. Hopefully, we're getting close and see what's coming down the line. But let's talk about iRacing.
I'm trying to get into that. If anybody has a computer they want to sell really cheap,
How
they'll support
about-
iRacing?
How
Hook me
about
up.
the poor Kyle Larson deal? I
Yeah.
mean, my gosh, that's absolutely nuts. I know what he did was wrong,
It's
and I'll admit it. I actually slipped that one in a driver's meeting one night. And,
yeah. I think I was talking to somebody about that this week.
Yeah, I see it. At least I wasn't on national TV.
Right.
That night it was.
And when you're on that national social media like that, you just gotta watch what you say.
in my driver's meeting speech that night was awesome, and it was about social media
Yeah.
and I'm telling everybody, they can say stuff about Rockford Speedway or Madison, but that's where we're at. They're really making fun of all you guys,
Yeah.
the drivers.
Yeah, I know.
They're making fun of all us, not just the Speedway. You guys are part of it. And then I got carried away, but it was a heck of a speech and very emotional. And I got until that point, but
So we got
so I learned myself.
one more question,
Okay.
and it's hit the chat 3 times.
Uh-oh.
I'll get to it. It's for you. Richie Swartout, figure 8 hit.
Mm-hmm.
Schneider wants to know, what do you remember?
It was a big hit.
It was a big hit.
Huge.
There was a couple of those, J.R. Martin,
J.R. Martin hit.
Richie. I mean, there's some.
Jim Doherty had a big hit in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's,
Mine wasn't as bad as these guys. Like, not even close.
I mean, their door bars and cages were rattled and falling apart. It was. I don't remember exactly what happened, honestly, but obviously it was a hit the X, but that was an unfortunate deal. That's the hard part of that figure 8 racing.
Yeah.
And, do you watch it? When he was racing figure 8?
I did until I hit the middle, and then I didn't watch it anymore.
She doesn't even watch the late model races. Well,
I've never watched it.
she watches any race that I'm not in. No support at all.
You can't see her anyway, but people tell you.
I go.
She's there. She's in the stand. She's pacing around during his race, I would think. I think that's kind
Sometimes
of
she
where.
sits in the truck with the radio.
Well, that's even worse.
Tuned to our channel.
I know.
One of these times I'm going to be like, I'm on fire or something like that. I'm
just gonna
burning.
say,
I'm burning.
Play
Just
the
to mess
game.
with
Yeah,
her.
I'd get a message on my phone.
Yeah, Kyle.
Is he really? Send me a video. I need to see it now. And he's gonna be in victory lane celebrating out there, and just, oh no, yeah, he's on fire. Yeah, literally, he's on fire. He's on a roll.
Tell her to bring beer out to the finish line. Can I do that? Can I celebrate with beer on the finish line when I win opening night?
My
in
mother would
July
probably
or
say
whatever?
no, but if it's our current Miller or Coors, I don't see a problem with that.
Definitely. be
As long as it's track sponsored.
Yeah,
'Cause
keep it.
I've always wanted the Stone
Lovely.
Cold Steve Austin beers on the finish line after I win.
And back in the day, we used to hand out beers in Victory Lane.
No shit.
Yeah.
And I would
And
even
then
do
I'll-
it like in the infield area where like the Roadrunner feature is gonna come out next. I don't want them to spin out my beer or whatever. So I'd even do it down a little ways and Stone Cold. That's what I want to do.
It's in today's world, we probably should hand you some fruit water or something, good for
We'll
you.
call
But
it that.
well, technically, it probably is.
Just bring them out with
There,
can
it's
koozies.
There you go.
Emotional support dog. Well, we are going to start wrapping it up. John made a good point, though, in one of his messages. Just a reminder tomorrow. Obviously, we're not racing physically, but we do have video games. We have iRacing. We have Wreckfest. We have NASCAR video games. So, don't be afraid to friend some other drivers in the area. A lot of people are on iRacing. You guys should be racing together for sure. I saw Grundy. If you're a Grundy driver, they just did a post asking around iRacing and such. And, we only had a few people respond to our message. But if you guys know anybody that does iRacing, get them in touch with us. And maybe there's something that we can line up in regards to getting a bunch of Rockford or Midwest guys together and streaming a big late model race or something. And
Good idea.
That'd be cool.
we're hosting, Misfit Productions is hosting a Wreckfest League, so it's a little more relaxed. But
Sometimes.
it's sometimes, yeah, right. It gets a little crazy at times, but that's the nature of the video game.
I'm normally
But
drinking,
yeah, if you're
so I have
interested,
fun.
hey, hit us up. Season 2 begins tomorrow. Begins tomorrow. We race at 7 p.m. Saturday nights Central Time. So if you have Wreckfest and you're on an Xbox or PlayStation, join the Facebook page. It's called Misfit Racing League. So hit us up. We're more than happy to have you. And
Is there a way for people just to watch that, or do you have to
we've
have
streamed
the
it
game?
before, but a lot of times drivers can just broadcast their own stream
Oh, okay.
through their Xbox. I think PlayStation does something similar.
I don't know
But,
how to do it. They
yeah.
probably do, but I think
Yeah.
Steve Dover does it sometimes. So
Yeah,
yeah, I think you
he's
can do it.
done
I just don't know how to
He
do it.
records the screen, so
I'm not too tech savvy.
there's ways of people watching, but yeah, it'd be cool to have iRacing, the Rockford Speedway on iRacing for sure, Corey.
I would agree.
So,
I got it over there.
but that's all we got
Not
from here. I'm
online,
gonna go
though.
ahead and pass it to David to close us up, and thank you everybody for watching.
My my iRacing experience, though, the World of Outlaws on Wednesday night, the sprint cars.
Oh, yeah.
That was the best. That
I didn't get to watch it. I will. It's probably on YouTube.
the rest of it to me is kind of eh. So then I saw the Outlaw sprints.
Those Cup
but,
guys crash a lot.
well, I know.
Jeepers.
At least they're doing no reset deals now, and
That Clint
no
Boyer's
caution.
sitting there trying to commentate and race, and he's just wrecking.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is. Kenny, you're right. It is.
All right. Well, we'll wrap it up with that. Everything goes to iRacing. We'll be live racing someday soon. I don't know when, but stay tuned. We'll be back probably next week with another update. We want to thank Spartamax, our sponsor for tonight. I'm David Deary. DJ Smith finally is a guest of his own show.
Yeah.
How about that? Hey, thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next week. We're out of here.
Peace out. Yo.